Hello, legends and super legends. Welcome to Veloharmony subscriber hangout. I have to apologize I was forced to change the time because we did not figure on running into epic winds and so forth. We expected rain, but not gale force winds, and so it slowed our return. So the ride that should have taken maybe 5.5, 6 hours took a little over 7 hours. We went out to Richards today. So it's great to be here. Great to see you guys waited. I appreciate that. But it was a great ride. Let's see here. Michael Fernandez, yeah, he was here. Good morning from Land Down Under. Yeah, somebody said, Jeffrey Davis says, hello, Michael. I hope tomorrow is going well for you. Cool. Michael's, they're a day ahead, the guys in Australia. And so Robert Benitez says, I want to thank you for the manner you speak about just ride. He says, I'm new to riding, and you just take the pressure off and change my perspective on hurrying up. I need to be at the front of the pack. Yeah, it really takes time. You know, I really believe in riding at a sustained pace. That's the way I was coached. That's the way I was trained when I competed. I don't do anything, you know, if the finish line is there, let's say if you're competing and you can get over the finish line with whatever pace is required, then that's sustainable for that duration. But in a group ride, if you guys are riding for hours or whatever, and you go and burn yourself out feeling like you have to be at the front, then it's self-defeating because it doesn't teach you anything. So yes, there should be no pressure. You know, cycling is just a lovely sport. So yeah, I'm glad that you found the channel and we've been able to help you. I'm not sure what was putting pressure on you, but that's really good to see. Let's see here. Dev Miller, season's greetings, all the best. Hey, Dev. Yeah, Christmas was great. I finally got my girls some bicycles. Probably hard to believe, but I have two little girls, 7 and 9. And they were kamikazes. I had them on trikes. And then Paul gave them some scooters so we could teach them balance. But the 9-year-old was like a daredevil, didn't think anything would hurt her. So finally got her a bike, and within a few hours, she was riding independently. So she picked it up quicker than her 7-year-old sister. So, but I'm gonna work with them because I gave them the theory first, and she got it. She's one of those. She has a mind like her dad. The 7-year-old is like mom, more emotional. So she got upset that the 9-year-old already is able to ride alone. I filmed the 9-year-old, send it to Paul. And I was surprised. I thought it would take at least a week. You know, she picked it up in no time. So she can ride independently. And I showed her how to stop. She wants to go fast, but she doesn't know how to brake and stop safely. So she would just ride and then drop the bike. I'm like, you know. So that's what I'm dealing with. So all day yesterday I was running. My legs hurt because I'm running after them, you know, after a long ride. I'm running after them, and I'm like, you know, this is like, so I told Paul today I'm going to wear sneakers. Well, I was going to do it today, but it's raining. It's just, you know. So we got a cool front. I mean, it dropped a few degrees. So I don't know what's going on because it started at 61 Fahrenheit, which is about probably 15 C. And it stayed around there. And we expected a rain, so I had my Peoria 3. I had sealed the shoes and all that. But the water still got in the shoes. My feet still got damp. I have the shoe down here with me on the little heater I have to dry it out because it's supposed to rain tomorrow. Of course, we're heading out again. So I'm just going to lube the chain. The bike was clean. It was heavy rain, so it washed all the dirt. You know, so bikes are clean. Okay, let's see here. Getting Ready 101. Hi, everybody. Hey, Getting Ready. John Marino, how you doing? Friesman, I'm going to call him Friesman. It's F-R-Z-M-I-N. Friesman 78. I salute the general. Hey, Friesman, how you doing? Friesman is very well averse with where I grew up, Liberia. We have a soccer player named George Weah. They call him King George. He played in the UK for a lot of teams. Very, very successful soccer player. And he went back home and helped others with his personal money. He didn't have to. And now he's decided to get in, you know, I think he was running for president. I haven't kept up. But that's what Friesman was talking about. So it's always cool. So every time I see his name, I think about my home country. But, you know, the U.S. is home now. So I've since moved on. So let's see here. John Marino, what's your favorite training tire? Excellent, excellent question, John. I have, well, let's see. If I really had to pick favorite training tire, the Vittoria Rubino Pro. I don't know if they call it Rubino Pro, but yeah, they probably do. The Rubino, it's a lower TPI tire, but it's pretty nice. I don't train on my Evos. I use the Evos for the group ride, the Rubino Pro. I have since found another tire I like. It's called Continental Classic. I put that on the Colnago, and I've been riding it with Paul the last few rides. Very comfortable. They just call it Continental Classic, Continental Grand Prix Classic. And it's it comes in only one size, 25. So I have 25 in the front and back. They ride really well. The ride is very comfortable. The main reason I got it was for aesthetics. It has like a brown sidewall, which just seemed to enhance the Colnago's classic heritage. And that's why I got it. And then the plus was it's very comfortable. Same tire pressure I use, 90, 95. So yeah, the Rubino Pro is very inexpensive, but being made by Vittoria and with a lower TPI, they're tougher. A lot of the pros use them in the winter, the guys in Belgium. Very well known for that. You can find it at reasonable prices, but that's what we use on our Zondas sometimes, you know, for training. I use low TPI tires for training. I use the higher TPI tires for fast rides or group rides, just rides better. And then I use latex tubes when I use the higher TPI. So when I rode with this fast group this weekend, I had my Vittorias and my Michelin latex tubes in there. And it was like I was riding tubulars without the headache of glue and all of that. So yeah. Let's see here. George Araneta. Good morning, cycling fanatics from Hong Kong. Wow. All the way across the ocean there. I've been waiting for this live chat. Quite entertaining, educational. Well, I'm glad, man. I'm glad. This just really takes this channel to another level. I've never wanted this channel to be cookie cutter. There's a guy named Marky Blaze. I hope I got it right. He was on the premiere for the ride. And he mentioned that phrase. He said, I noticed you guys are not cookie cutter. Because he asked why we don't have a mount for the camera. You know, that's what everybody does. Who wants to look at a film for an hour and a half with one vision, one view? You went to a movie and that's all you saw, you'd be bored. So yeah, we work harder at it, but I think it's worth it. You know, and I like challenges. So that's kind of cool. I've always wanted you guys to see what we see. And that's the reason I take the time to do the narration. I don't really lie here. I'll be honest with you guys. That phrase assumes that, you know, people say that. I guess it's just a saying. But really, I put a lot of hours into the group rides. For the very reason is because the people who take the time to really watch everything will get a lot from it. Because I watch it repeatedly. Even though I put the pieces together, I love watching it myself. When I'm on the trainer or whatever, I play it. If I'm in the bike, the studio doing something, I'm always working on little projects. I play it. It's on the TV in there, and I just watch it, see what I can improve or what did I miss. There's a lot that goes into that, and I think it's worth the time. And I think that's what he's seeing. You know, instead of me making videos about, oh, this is how you draft, and this is how you ride, and this is in one group ride, you get entertained and educated. I think it just takes us to another level. So yeah, so this channel is unique. I like that. So that's cool. I'm glad you guys are grabbing the things. It was intended to be that way. I'm glad you're getting it. So let's see. Frederick Robinson. He said, hey, E, Frederick here. Wish I could stick around, but today is my 31st. Well, congratulations, 31st wedding anniversary. Excellent, man. Excellent. Excellent. And the wife and I are leaving for dinner date. See you next time. Yeah, have a great dinner, man. You can watch the replay. It'll be there. You'll be able to see the chat. Have a great time. 31 years. Excellent. Congratulations, man. Congratulations to you and the wife. Michael Fernandez from the land down under. He says, oh, he's replying to Jeffrey. Getting ready. He says, channel helped me a lot. Getting ready 101. Think my bike crank is too close to my seat post. Your bike crank too close to your seat post when you're spinning. That's weird. Because your bottom bracket should be out. I don't know how your bike crank gets too close to your seat post. Your seat post is where your saddle, I don't know if you mean your seat tube. Yeah, I think you mean your seat tube, because the post is what the saddle's attached to. The tube runs all the way down to where your cranks are. So I think that's what you mean. All right, let's see here. Larry, greetings to all. Happy holidays, Larry. Glad you could join us. Let's see here. Robert Tangler. Hello, curious what kind of bikes? Oh, yeah, I'm glad Robert asked that. I guess I won't have to make a video since we're going to talk about it here. Robert opened a can of worms. My wife got really upset because I took her to the local bike shop called the Bike Barn. You guys have seen me go there and do rides with them. They're about 25 minutes from where I reside. Robert knows where it is. The Bike Barn in Cypress Wood. Cypress Wood and Stubner Airline. There's a guy named Kurt that is the manager. I went, I'm a fitter and I don't go around advertising. I measured my kids. I measured the inseam. I did the calculation to figure out the saddle height, because a lot of the bikes for kids, that's the best way to go. Make sure the seat it starts at the saddle height and can go higher. So they can grow a little bit, at least a year or so. I get to the bike shop against my wife's wishes, who wanted to just go to Walmart. And we walk in, guys, and these guys don't have real kids bike anymore. I told the guys I have a 7- and 9-year-old. He wants to know, and he claims to do bike fits at the Bike Barn. So those of you in Houston, don't go to the Bike Barn for bike fit. That guy doesn't know what he's doing, because he's the manager. He asked me how tall they are. And I'm looking at him like, does it really matter how tall they are? Think about it. I'm 6'2". Does that really tell you what my arm length is from where my bars will be? My shoulder, those of you who have watched the video, my height tells you nothing about that. That's the contact point. And this is from another guy who claims he does fit. So I'm looking at him like, So I gave him their height just to see. He goes and he brings these monster bikes. I'm talking too big for the girls. And I may do a video where I show you my daughter riding. They're just in the yard playing around, because she picked it up in a few hours. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of her. Let me come back. The bike, these are kids' bikes, he claimed. They look like bikes for teenagers, not for 7- and 9-year-old. And he claimed because I told him what their height were, that these are going to fit them. And I'm a fitter, and I knew it wasn't right. Now, forget about the sizing of the bikes. The bikes had suspension, full suspension on the bike in the front. Then the bikes had disc brakes for kids. So the guy brings two, $964. He said it like it was $9.64. So my wife gave me the evil eye, and I just told him, I said, you know what? I'll give you a call later. We gotta go to my office and discuss this. Meaning we're leaving and we're gonna talk about it. I'll give you a call. And we just left. My wife's like, he's nuts, because now my wife is not a bike fitter. She just rides, but her premise was, years ago, I bought her a bike from a bike shop in Austin called Freewheeling. They're no longer open. Her bike cost $5-something. My 19-year-old at the time, her bike cost $85 from a bike shop. Look, it had baskets in the front, little girls' bikes. And you guys know that have kids. $964. The bikes look like things like you would use mountain biking, off-road, whatever. It was. So then I asked him before we left, I said, why did the bikes cost so much? He said, oh, that's because of the way they're spec'd. So here, based on that comment now, every bike in there that he claimed to be kids' bikes has suspension, disc brakes. So you put all this crap on there, you can rip people off. Needless to say, we drove to the Walmart at Kirkendall and 2920 and picked up two bikes made by Huffy that fit. All I did was I went into Walmart, pulled them off. There was a guy there that had them way up, and he pulled them down. And I measured from the center of the bottom bracket to the seat to make sure it would accommodate the saddle height that I had calculated at the lowest point, so that I would always have room to raise it up. because I always started lower than the saddle height because they're kids. I don't believe in balance, those wheels. I don't believe in the little safety wheels. So I started lower so they can put their feet on the ground. That's how I learned. And so in a few hours, my daughter could ride. Just a couple of Huffies. The bike shop does not have Huffy. It does not have anything we grew up with. They're going to go out of business. Performance, Robert, you probably know. Performance is going out of business. Performance bike. Because of the same nonsense. The stuff that worked for them, that now they want to force people to buy $350 bicycles for a 7-year-old kid. That's going to throw it down. You know, what is that? Are you kidding me? So both bikes cost $118. It's their first bike. If they're going to do gravel riding and other crap like that, then I can get into that nonsense later. They're putting disc brakes on kids' bikes. Are you kidding me? So yeah, needless to say, they're going to be going out of business too. Because my wife told me, my wife looked at me. I said, look, I didn't know that they don't carry bikes for kids anymore. The stuff he's calling kids' bikes, they're not kids' bikes. They're for people doing serious, hardcore stuff. Who puts suspension on a kid's bike? Those suspension on the front fork, full suspension, so you can charge $350. So yeah, open a can of worms there, but it happened on Christmas Eve. Was it Christmas Eve? What day? We did it on Sunday. Sunday was 2 days before Christmas because I wanted to have Christmas Eve free to do the group ride video. So we went and did it on Sunday. And, you know, so yeah, so these bike shops, if they're all doing that, they're going to go out of business. There is no way you're going to spec a bike for a little kid that is $450, a 7-year-old kid. I mean, come on. It would have been too big for them anyway because he ignored everything I was telling him. So yeah, let me get off my soapbox there. So yeah, they're just creating a mess. Let's see here. Let's go back. Let me see where Robert is. Robert got me going. Sounds like my boys the first few days. Yeah. Oh, Michael. Good morning, Michael. Hey, Fritz DK says, Merry Xmas, Eldred. Love your channel. Welcome, Fritz. Yeah, the channel is a labor of love. I wanted it to be unique, and it's turned out that way. And it's real. What you see here, what you see about me, if you met me in person, this is who I am. WYZIWYG. What you see is what you get. No pretenses. It just keeps it simple. You know, so yeah, I'm glad you like the channel. Then we got Alan, looks like Moga. Hey, VH, what is your opinion on fixie bikes? Merry Christmas. They're fine. I think they're good. Fixed gear bikes are great. A lot of, I know Bike Messengers use them. I know Nelson Vales, one of the guys who's a good track. I used to sprint at the track to Alkek Velodrome in Houston, and I had a fixed gear bike. They're fine. I mean, they're fun, you know, but not, you know, depending on how much you're going to spend on it. Some of them, you know, they're pretty specialized, but they're beautiful machines. They're great for city riding. You get the right cog and you use your counterbalance to slow it down. A lot of them don't have brakes. So you just have to practice, but make sure your fit is right because you can't cheat with them. You can't coast. So if you're uncomfortable, you can't stop pedaling. You got to keep pedaling. They're fun bikes. Yeah, I love them. I don't own one right now, but I used to ride them. Used to ride them in the winter. Back in the day, they thought that you rode them to improve your smoothness, your pedaling smoothness. They really believed that. We used to cheat, though. We put brakes on a road bike and just put a wheel with one cog. So we still had brakes. Because, yeah, they're kind of tough on the road with no brakes. Let's see here. Looks like... Gisish and JISLH 29. Hey, Merry Christmas to you. He's a Merry Christmas Legends and Super Legend from down. Oh, the Australians are coming. He's from the land down under also. I don't know if I got his name right. Jisi, JISIH 29. I think it's Jisi or something like that. Okay. And this is Amal Abdul Leek. That's a cool name. How would you fit someone with long femurs on a track frame? Most track frames have a seat tube angle between 75 and 74. That is not true. I don't know where you got that. You know, maybe that's the one you've been looking at. I mean, the track frame is a frame. They don't put angles on frames. They don't have the frames are built to fit riders. So you have to shop for the frame that fits you. So if you're looking at 75 to 74, those are for short people that don't have long femurs. They're not going to be riding. There's no rider with long femurs sitting on a 74-degree seat tube. It's hard to get your saddle back far enough. So yeah, the bikes are made for the rider, not the other way around. So track frames don't come with a predetermined. The same thing with road frames. What's happening now is they're putting stuff in the stores that they're limiting the sizes. They used to make a lot more sizes back in the day. You would get them in centimeter increments. So yeah, that's why I tell people you're better off getting a custom bike. You pay less and you get exactly what you need to fit you. I wear a size 11 in shoes. If they stopped making size 11 shoes in the stores, I'd get somebody to make me a size 11 shoe. I'll use that as an analogy. Because you're spending the money, you're in charge. So you need to, they say caveat emptor, buyer beware. You need to know what you need and don't let them sell you something that won't work for you. I couldn't ride any bike with a 75 or a 74. I wouldn't be able to get my saddle back far enough. And that's not unusual. Most riders 5'11" and over need a shallow. Greg LeMond is not 6'2". My hero, you read his book, he says the same thing. He cannot ride a frame that does not have a shallow angle. He won't be able to get his seat far back enough. A lot of the tall Europeans, Jacques Anquetil, Eddie Merckx, they're not riding 75, 74. They're big boys. They're sitting back. Fausto Coppi, all those guys. That's why they look like greyhounds on the bike. I need to do more of the history videos so you guys can see them. I'm going to put the history playlist on the podcast because people have requested that so it can be out there because you can listen to it. I'm trying to put playlists that you can listen to. You don't need visual cues. But no, don't fall for that. Okay? The bike needs to fit you. Somebody just asked about a fixie. If you're going to buy a fixie, you already need to know. I keep talking about bike sizing. Don't buy any bike if you're a serious rider without knowing what bike fits you, what angles, the seat tube angle and the top tube length. Those are the two critical things because the angle of the seat tube would allow you to set your saddle in the right position so you can pedal. And then the top tube length would allow you to stretch out enough. If it's too short, you may not find a long enough stem to do that. Plus, it affects the handling. So you need to get a bike sizing done before you spend your money. Let's see here. John Marino, I like Continental Grand Prix 4-season tires, good all around. I have those on my Shimano C35 wheels. They work fine. I personally, for fast riding, I've fallen in love with the Vittoria Evos. They just sing. That's what I rode with those boys, those crazy fast guys on last Saturday, and they perform. I was riding. I'm on regular Zonda wheels. Everybody's got carbon arrows, whatever. I don't notice the difference. I prefer the Zondas because they're very snappy. So the terrain we're in is up and down. We did more. And the funny thing is, after all of that, Paul talked me into doing that same course today. And it was tougher than Saturday because we had wind. I'm talking gusty winds, rain. The rain was just blowing. That's why it took us about 7 hours to do it. Normally we do it six and a half. It's just the two of us. So we'll work harder. We did the exact route today that they did on Saturday, just to make sure. We saw everything that happened. He was like, yeah, I was dying on this hill. Then he attacked it. Oh, yeah, I was dying on this hill. Then he went hard. So every hill that gave him a hard time today, he was pounding them. And we saw Greg shot out there on the way back while we were going out. So all the serious riders are out there riding. It's holiday. It's holiday season. People take off. They get vacation from work. Falls on vacation. So we take off. So everybody, we saw Greg shot out there coming back. We were heading out, on Raven Chapel Road. So we followed the same course and we went hard on every hill. So when we got back, I had to change the time because I needed to eat, take a shower, get ready. If you don't eat right away tomorrow, I'll be wiped out. So I've already eaten. That's why I look like I haven't even ridden. And tomorrow we're going back. It's supposed to rain again. The mud guards are on the bike. It's just going to stay there. I'm going to loop the chain. We're ready to go. The rain was so heavy, it cleaned the bikes. Because normally when there's light rain, the mud and leaves get on your bottom bracket, all that. Not today. The bikes are clean. So I just put it in the garage. I'm going to loop the chain, leave it there. We'll be ready to go tomorrow. You know, so yes, I don't know how I got it on that kick, but yeah. So Paul wanted to go back and revisit everything. We did the exact route and we hammered everything. And he was telling me, oh yeah, at this point here, and then I'm saying, yeah, this is where Mo was pushing you and this and that. So it was kind of cool to relive it. So our plan was anytime the road went up, we were going to lift whatever pace we're doing. So coming back home, the wind was just in our face, gusting. We're doing 22 kilometers an hour, going hard. We could not go any faster because it was blowing from the left. If you leave your bars, you could feel it. So it was just tougher conditions. So yeah, so we'll be able to handle anything next time. That's the plan anyway. Let's see here. Let's see. This is Jesse 29. The bike shop I went to said the reason why they put together tires on new bikes so that people get disc brakes. Seems fishy to me. I just talked about that. Jesse, I guess you missed it. Yeah, I was buying my kid's bike on Sunday, 2 days before Christmas, for a 7 and 9 year old. They spec'd $964 for two bicycles. That's crazy. They're little kids. They're going to throw them down, do whatever. So we paid $118 for Huffies, and they were riding them. Within a few hours, my 9-year-old could ride. That was her first time on the bike because she's been real kamikaze. I kept them on tracks. She's been running into curves to see what would happen. So now she's at the point where she doesn't think she's Supergirl. So I felt like if she was ready, she listens now. So if I had bought those other bikes that were too big, he spec'd them wrong. He didn't listen to me. I happened to be a knowledgeable customer. He ignored that. So what that told me is he's just pushing stuff on people. And, you know, when I went to the bike shop was empty for 2 days before Christmas anyway, I was like, they're not going to survive. They're not going to be able to pay their rent. So, yeah, they're putting crap on the bike nobody needs, and they're pushing it. I'm not one of those that will be buying something that's spec'd by the manufacturer to force on me. I will contact a custom builder when I need a bike next time because they ask you what kind of brakes you want, what kind of this you want, what kind of tires are you going to use on your frame. They ask you all of that. Isn't that cool? Plus, you pay a third less than these so-called $15,000 carbon bikes. My orange bike, the frame costs all of $4K, $4 grand. That's it. I sourced the components from Maryland and all the other places and built it myself. So even if you got it from Kish, built, it will be 7 or less. You ain't going to be paying no 16. It will be built to fit you and the kind of riding. That's the way I am. If I'm going to be spending money, you need to wait on me. I don't need to be waiting on you. You're not going to push anything on me. No. I'm the guy that goes to the restaurant. I don't buy anything off the menu. I have them make me something. You know, I just want a salmon. I don't want your sauce on it and all this other crap. Just make it the way it is because I know how to cook. You know, so yeah, you don't have to put up with that. Don't do that. It's your money. It's not free. If it's free, then yeah, you can put up with that. But if you're spending your money, they need to cater to you. Let's see here. Stefano Mancini, the Italiano. Hello, guys. I like this channel. Welcome, Stefano. We rode with a couple of your countrymen, Maurizio Topini and Christian Colonello. They're on the film, so you need to watch them. Those boys are strong. they're from Italy. And I think Christian grew up near the Dolomites. So when it's 3C here, he has no knee covers. He said he's used to the cold. So, you know, his wife was teasing me. She said, we're going on a ride on Sunday. I was putting on shoe covers. She said, now you are ready to go and ride up Everest, Mount Everest. She was implying I'm overdressed. I said, that's okay. I have been riding so much. I've lost a lot of body fat in the last month. So I feel colder than I used to when it's cold. So I have to dress warm. My body's leaner than a month ago. That's just the way it is. That's how you lose weight by riding. It's not a secret. It's not rocket science. You just gotta work out if you want to lose weight. That wasn't my goal. I'm just riding because I was getting ready for the festive 500 we're doing now. And it's just the side effect. Paul's wife saw the video on Saturday. I'm doing the prologue, and they're at home watching it. And she told Paul, why is he losing so much weight? And so Paul was telling me today. And he said, yeah, man's riding, you know. Paul's losing weight, but I guess she sees him every day, so she can't really see the difference. But she doesn't see me that frequently. But every now and then I might stop by his house. And so that was a long time ago since I've seen her. And so she's like, she can see the difference. You know, that's just the way it is. I'm not losing a tremendous amount of weight. My body really, I think, is reformatting. I've lost about 1 kilo. That's it. About 2 pounds, maybe 2.2 pounds. But what I found is I'm leaner. My clothes fit the same, but it's almost like my body's tighter. And what I found is I'm working hard and my heart rate is below where it used to be. I haven't been in this kind of shape since 16 years ago. I was telling Paul about it when I used to race. Because, yeah, I would be racing in a group and be in zone 2 and then only hit zone 4 when I'm in a breakaway or something like that. So I told him, I said, you're starting something. Because I rode with those guys on Sunday. I didn't go above sweet spot. But that's just the heart doing its thing. You know, it's just very efficient. It doesn't translate to your legs. You know, so you can be in zone 2 here and your legs are in zone 5. They're screaming at you. You know, that's why I let Mo go on that thing. When he stood up to just stretch his leg, I was like, I'm going to stay right here and let my legs recover because the hills were just thick and fast, as Phil Liggett says. That's why we went out there. Riding to ridges is hard. So a lot of the guys don't like to go out there. And Mo did it 3 days in a row last week. I was like, this guy, he's a machine. So, yeah. So we went out there today. It was like, yeah, it was brutal today. Yeah. Let's see here. Is there such a thing as optimal pressure on 25 millimeter or 28? I was asked, what's my weight? And I said, Bike Shop says I shouldn't go more than I shouldn't go more than 70. What bike shop is that? The recommended PSI is 85. So the bike shop knows more than the people who made the tire. Let's see. I don't know what tire you have that is recommending 85, but that 85 is what I run when it's wet. Today was wet. I had 90 in the back and 85 in the front. That's what I do. I'm a big guy. I'm 86 kilos, maybe 85.5 now, you know, thereabouts. For you, since you're only 65 kilograms, I don't think it really matters. Everybody thinks that your weight is not only supported by the tire. The bicycle frame is a diamond frame for a reason. The weight is spread through that structure, almost like a mini honeycomb. Your weight is on the seat post, the frame, the wheel, then the tire and the tube. It's not just that. So I recommend you follow the manufacturer's recommendation because 85 is very reasonable. You're not going to lose, especially you're riding 25. At 65 kg, if you ride 25, you will enjoy the suppleness because you're already light. I don't ride narrow tires, and I don't use high pressure because I want to enjoy the suppleness of the tire. I always use the analogy about your car. Your car can take 50 PSI in the tire, but why would you do that? It would be like riding on wooden wheels. Too hard. So the bike shop, no. 70, no. That's kind of low. 85, 90, you'll be fine. Don't go over 100. I tell people that as a gauge because I always like for people to play with it. You know, I didn't get to 90, 95, which is what I ride in a dry by somebody telling me that. Old Chinese guy used to be around in the shops many years ago. I learned a lot from. He told me never go above 100 PSI. That's all he told me as a guide. I found that I like 90, 95 in the back for me as a big guy. So for you, you might like 85 and 80 in the front, 85 in the back because that's where you're sitting. You might love that. And when you go over bumps, it'll be like nothing's there. So yeah, you don't need, no, 70 is too low. Don't worry about optimal pressure. There is no such thing. Everybody plays with it. There is no optimal pressure. The manufacturer is giving you something that from their testing, they're like, you know what? This is reasonable. The recommendation is from people. So there is no optimal. Don't worry about being optimal. Just put air in the tires and make sure it's hard and it's not super hard. Don't do 110, 120 like some people do. Stay 100 or less. You'll be fine. Even at your weight at 65 kg. Don't worry about it. The bigger tires that you're looking at roll better anyway. They are faster. That's been proven in research. So that's a fact. Let's see. Stefano Mancini, Rafa Sil tomorrow. Check it out. I'm laughing because That's kind of like telling me, how can I put it? I know what you mean, Stefano, but what I'm trying to say is I'm in the know. They sent me an email. But even before the email comes, I'm always checking, because what I do is if I have a glove that has a hole in it from use, I have a cycling shopping list throughout the year. I don't do this Christmas, go buy all kinds of crazy stuff. Where I grew up, Christmas had nothing to do with malls. It's the birth of Christ being celebrated. That's it. There's no Santa, all that foolishness. So I don't get into all of that. Now, a few people I give stuff to here because we're here in the U.S., but I don't get into these long lists, and I don't like going to malls. I do most of my shopping online. So the point I'm trying to get to is that when something is wearing in my cycling wardrobe, I got gloves that I wear, and then I put gloves on my list. And if Rafa is having a sale and they put gloves on sale, then I go look. So I just don't buy Rafa stuff because it's on sale. Or if I have a jersey that has a hole, or I want this color. So I already scoped them out. Yes, I know when it's going to start. In fact, they're starting the sale at the stores, I believe, today. And then they're going to start the sale online tomorrow. And I'm not the only one. I mean, like you're saying here, there are a lot of people that keep up with Rafa because they make nice stuff. And you found out when you get the sale, the prices are similar to the other average stuff I consider. And so you're spending the same dollars and getting top stuff. In fact, I got a Christmas present from Paul. I didn't bring it here. There's a jersey I had on my wish list. I don't keep a wish list on Rafa's site. I have my own list on my phone. I don't want them to know what I'm interested in. And you shouldn't either, because they use that for research. If a lot of people have something on that wish list, they would not put it on sale. That's what happens with the Pro Team shorts. If you notice, Stefano, they never put the Pro Team black bibs, black and black. They never put that on sale because they sell really well. And that's the thing. It's like, I'd like to get one, but I'm not paying $270 for it. So unless they get a coupon code. The last time I had bibs that had a damage and they couldn't fix it. And so they gave me 50% off. Then I bought one. So I bought that one with the orange lettering that you've seen me wear. I think it was $189 or something like that. So I get those. So I have items that I have on my list that I want to grab. And then when they get ripe, meaning the sale, I'm on to that. So yes, we're all waiting for it. Because they're going to sell out, the things that, so you just got to find what you're interested in. Let's see here. John Marino, I think you should invite Paul to be in front of the camera too. It would be cool to have both of you in video live. Yeah, he couldn't do it today because we got back so late and he needed to head home. We were both behind schedule or other things we needed to do. Yeah, it's been suggested by Chris Roxbury also. And he's aware of it and he has a standing invitation. So we're just going to have to coordinate it. I know that would be kind of cool. What's your take on recommended PSI versus rider's weight? I think you're worried about the wrong thing, Jisish. If you start getting to all of that, it's not necessary. Just put air in your tires per the manufacturer's recommendation for the size that you buy. You're spending your brain on the wrong thing. It's not going to make you faster. What's going to make you faster is riding your bike, not all that stuff. That's a bit much. It's not necessary. You're splitting hairs there. You're not going to get any benefit out of that. And if you do, it's not going to be quantifiable. You can have optimal air in your tires and still get dropped because you didn't ride enough. So Ron Bell, just hey, love the channel. Yeah, Ron. Glad you can't stop by. I mean, but you can join us on Friday. We'll have another one. There's Chris. Hey, Chris. Chris Roxbury is here. Ignacio. That is a cool name. I've seen that somewhere before. Let's see. Yeah, Paul's here too. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, we ran into a storm. He's telling Paul, glad he made it through the storm. It was raining so much. It looked like night. There's a lot of rain, water just all over the road. It was cool, but you can't go very fast. You're going hard and going nowhere. So we're on a small chain ring, most of the return, just the laws of physics. We're working hard, just not, 22 kilometers an hour, 23. And then certain patches, the wind disappeared and we get on the big chain ring and we go a little fast. I was trying to make time to get back before the original start time, so it was kind of cool. Getting ready says, Paul, love seeing you in the videos. You're my hero. Yeah, Paul hung tough. He emptied the tank, man. That's hard to do. A long time since I've seen that. That was kind of cool. The guys were very impressed. We heard, reading between the lines, we heard from one of the guys who his name is Jerry. He wasn't there, but they talk. And he's one of the boys that ride with the racers. And he couldn't ride because he has asthma. And when it's below 10C, it really bothers him. So he waits till the day warms up when it's cold. And he rides alone. But he does ride. But he can't come when it's below 10C because it bothers his asthma. He was telling us about it the day after the ride. Because we rode again with Mo and some of the other guys the day after the ride. But that day was an easier ride, milder terrain, but just the group just stayed together. And in fact, it was a recovery ride, intentionally planned that way by both Mo and us, and we kind of hooked up. But it was nice to see Mo. There was a guy named Mateo from Brazil. He's a racer, and he's only used to riding fast because these guys trying to get in shape. The season's getting closer. And he started out really fast on Fish Creek, and I told Paul to let him go. We ended up just Paul, myself, sitting on Mateo's wheel. And when I look back, all the other guys were just chilling and talking on Fish Creek. I told Paul, let him go. And Paul did. And I said, I don't know this guy. I've never seen him before. We need to stay with our plan. And in a little while, about maybe half a kilometer, he stopped. He was standing on the side street waiting for us. And so Mo rode up to him because Mo knew him. And Mo put his arm around him, and I saw them talk for a little bit. Problem solved. Mateo did not know that the group was going to go tranquilo, as they say. And so Mo just told him, chill. We're not racing today. And so it was nice. Everybody got a nice spin. Your legs felt better. Then later in the ride, Christian chased somebody there's always somebody who wants to take off, and you have to decide what you want to do. And then Christian egged me on. And so I ended up riding harder than I had planned because we chased down Paul H. And he was there with us. And then we ended up doing, I wish I had the camera. We ended up executing a rotating pace line, which is very difficult to do. A rotating pace line, the wind was from this direction and in our face coming home. And so it was so gusty, so we needed people to do this. Let me put my hand up here, like this. In other words, come this way, go this way. And so you have riders coming up like this, moving over, and so dropping back right away, and the next guy comes up and gets in front of that rider. So this rider now gets that wheel. So he or she gets a break. And so they're resting as they drift back, and the other riders. So it's just instant. Nobody's sitting there pulling. And that's a rotating pace line. What happens is, because you're not in the wind very long, you rest so much longer. So Paul was there. It was like five of us, and we did it for probably 7 or 8 kilometers. We got there to the end so quickly. Paul said he didn't believe that when he saw the HEB, which is we're in town. He's like, he couldn't believe it. And you feel fresh because you're resting. You only work when you're coming over. And once you come over and the next person comes, you get on that wheel. So you're resting the whole time. Then you get in the back of the other line and you're resting all the time. You only work when you come over. So you got a small little window of work. And the Belgians do this all the time. That's smart. We save so much energy. I put it in a bigger gear than I normally use because it was steady. It was beautiful. Mateo, who is a new kid from Brazil, he's a racer. He was so excited, he went and told Mo, because Mo was not with us. Mo was behind hanging out with Christian and Christian's wife, Elena. And so Mateo told them as soon as they came, we had this, because it's hard to get people to do that, to cooperate like that. So he told Mo, and Mo mentioned it to us. Well, you guys had a good pick. I said, yeah. And I told Paul, man, I would have loved to film it. Even racers, it's hard to get them to restrain themselves from the hero mentality and keep the pace steady. Because what causes it to fail is there's always someone who has been resting here, drifts back, comes over, and then speeds up instead of holding, say, 32, dropping to 31 when they move over. They'll speed up to 34. Well, then the guy behind has to do 35 to get in front of them and give them a wheel. And before you know it, it's a constant acceleration, and then people stop coming up because now they're hurting. And then it just disintegrates because now only one or two people may stay up there, and they can only do that so long. You know, so it's a rare thing to get it to execute the way we did it. It was beautiful to see. I was excited. While we were doing it, I was giving the guys kudos and thumbs up. They were looking at me like, I know Mateo knew, but the rest, some of the guys didn't understand. I was excited to see that because these guys rarely work together. And this was not the fast group. This was like Team RR, you know, because Team RR was out. Mo told us he was going to visit Team RR on Sunday. So we told him we'd meet him there. And so we all kind of got together. That's how it ended up being. It was kind of cool, but it was a lot of fun. I don't know how I got into that. I get excited about stuff. Let's see here. Michael Fernandez said Paul is elder shotgun man. I tell you, Paul's come a long way, guys. When I met Paul had not ridden him in like a year, and that's a lot of fitness you lose. And I don't know if I told the story in a few months, man. Paul just he showed me he was serious, so it was easy to get back into the swing of things. Diane Patterson, sorry. Hi, hope you're having a fantastic holiday. I am. I got to watch my 9-year-old ride a bike in maybe an hour or so after teaching her. Basically, we stood on the curb outside my home, the backyard, and I did the theoretical explanation of how you push off with the forward pedal and get the momentum and make sure you don't let the handlebars twist too much because you can fall. And 2 or 3 tries, she had it. I was like, man. So I filmed it, showed it to her mom. Her mom didn't believe it. Because it was mom's idea to get the bikes. But then I end up running up and down on concrete to show them how to ride. Of course, on my knees and everything was hurting. So, you know, we cycle, we don't run. You know, I'm forgetting how to walk even. I get on the bike and I'm home. Walking, I'm not getting very good at walking anymore. I ride so much, I much rather ride. I told Paul, I said, when I walk, my legs hurt. When I get on the bike, no pain. So that's where I am now. That's what happens when you ride a lot. You know, you have to really be careful about running. The guys who do triathlons, they have to train all 3 sports to keep the ligaments and everything conditioned for that pounding. Plus, I was on concrete running. That was not very, you know, not good. But yeah, fantastic holiday. Everybody was happy, and we got our 19-year-old a Mini Cooper. We found a good used one, exactly what she wanted. You know, I had been picking her brain for a while. I kind of knew what she wanted, so she's real happy. She got to take it to the tire shop today because there was a nail in one of the tires. The TPM thing kept coming up. So my wife wanted to take it. I said, you go with her, but she drives. Welcome to car ownership and all the headaches that come with it. Then she comes back. I get back from this epic ride. She sees me in the hall. The 19-year-old, she says, Dad, they only call you Dad when they want something. Dad, the wiper does not clean the windshield. I said, yeah, I'll get the blades replaced. I said, I can do that myself. It's just the rubber's worn. And then she said, and I said, what? The car has dog hairs in the back, the far back, behind the back seat. Whoever owned it must have carried an animal in there. So I told her, well, we have a car vac here. We'll clean it out. When are you going back to college? Oh, January 16th. I said, okay, we have time. But I want to do it now. I said, it's not happening today. So you can wait and I'll let you do it on your own. So yeah, she's like her mom. I always want to give you stuff to do. I got enough stuff to do. I don't need a list. So let's see here. Diane says, I have a question if I may. Of course. That's why we're here. We're hanging out. What was your best cycling related purchase of 2018? Wow. That's almost like somebody asking me what's my best non-US racer. My best cycling purchase of 2018. What did I buy this year? I didn't buy bikes. I didn't buy tires because I already have them stocked up. 2018. My Rafa Pro Team bib shorts for 2018. I don't buy a whole lot of cycling stuff all the time. I buy them Black Friday. Like you saw Stefano telling me about the Rafa sale. This is when I'm going to be watching it. I stock up on stuff that I think I'm going to need. I'm running low on. So yes, I don't buy them often. But the bib shorts with the orange lettering, it matched. The Veloharmony thing is kind of orange. It's my favorite color. And then it matched my bike. It matches a lot of jerseys that I have with orange. And it's just, I wore it in the summer with one of the orange jerseys that I got from La Pasión. So it has a good spot, meaning I'm going to get a lot of use out of it. I even wore it with some orange shoes and socks. People like the orange combination with the shoe. So that's my best purchase, the Pro Team. I paid $189 versus paying $270. Let's see. 270 minus 189. So I saved $81, you know, off of the sale. They don't put the Pro Team bib shorts on sale very often. And when they do, they only put colors that don't move a whole lot. We haven't seen them put the black and black on sale. The reason I like black and black is because, and I'm sure a lot of you know, it goes with everything. So if I buy black and black shorts, I don't have to worry about, oh, that orange on the leg matching the kit. I don't want to wear lime green and have orange on the leg. So the black and black matches everything. So that's why they don't put it on sale, because most cyclists want black shoes. Like my black helmet. I don't know if you guys know that I wear it a lot. Every now and then I get the blue. I have a white helmet I rarely wear, except I have it specifically for the summer. You know, so black is a great color for cycling. You have you repair a flat on the road, your hands get dirty, wipe it on the short. It doesn't show, you know. So that's the reason, and it's kind of hard. So I'm watching those. It's on what's on my personal watch list is the Rafa bib short, the Pro Team bib shorts 2. That's just the version. They improved the chamois and so forth. The legs are different, but I want it in black and black or the navy. They have a navy one because I got some navy things that would go. I like to get pieces like that and then take existing kit. So when I put it together, just like the ladies do, they'll wear the same outfit, put on an awesome necklace. You don't even see the outfit. You're just looking at the necklace or the earrings. Same thing we do. We'll put on a sock that pulls a color out of the jersey, it pops. You know? So I sit and I plan my outfit. I like that. I like to look good on the bike. Like, what's his name? Will said on the film, at least you're looking good. He said that to Paul. He said, even though you're struggling, at least you're looking good while you're cycling. Yeah, you need to look the business. You know, look the part. You're going to do anything, look the part. You're going to be a plumber, wear the best overalls. Whatever you're going to do, look the part. People will take you seriously. Let's see here. Conrad Long. What's up, folks? What's up, Conrad? Welcome to the Hangout. Michael Fernandez from the land down under. He said, I go to the local bike shop and they always try to sell me something. Yeah. They shouldn't have to, because you're going there because you want something. You're not just going there for no reason. Nobody goes to a bike shop to hang out unless they got a buddy there. You go there because you want it. You let the stuff sell themselves. Eric Nail. Hey, Eric. Eric's our super legend. He helped the channel. I appreciate that, Eric. He says, hello, Elder Legend and super legend from San Diego. San Diego is a beautiful place. I spent some time there. They get that cool front off the water, off the Pacific. They always have very mild days. Until you go inland, you know, it can be warmer. Pretty place. Let's see here. Munez Goro. At what experience or skill level do you think the investment of purchasing one's first set of carbon wheels for road cycling will have benefit large enough to justify the expense? Very lucid question. I'm going to twist it this way. The way I see things is this. First of all, you only live once. And it may contradict some of the things I've said. But I don't like to, not everything in life needs to be justified. And the reason I'm answering the question this way, who do you need to justify it to? Munez, think about it. You get up early, you go to work, you put up with a lot of crap. A lot of people got rude bosses they don't like. You don't have to be rude. You know, you put up with a lot of stuff to earn whatever you earn. My attitude is this. I always tell people you don't need it. You get that. I read your questions. So I know you get that. That's why you're asking like that. You don't need it to go to cycle. That's why you're asking that way. But you don't need to justify it either. If you can afford it, why not? There is no particular time that you need to get it. What I try to tell people is that don't go out of your way or out of your budget buying things to think it's going to make you faster. Not. Get a bike that fits you at your budget, meaning that you don't have to do more work to get that bike, meaning more hours, and then you can't ride. If you buy a $15,000 bike and then you got to work 80 hours a week to pay for it and you can't ride it, that's not a good investment. Buy a $2,000 bike so you can take time and go ride. You will be a better rider because you're riding, not because you have that bike. So let's come back to the wheels. If you can afford the wheel and you just want it, reward yourself. You deserve it. Okay? You don't need to justify it. Now, I think I know what you're getting at. Although there is no particular time, I just don't want you to think that the wheel will make you faster. There are people with carbon wheels that we ride with, and we have regular Zondas. Even Mo does. I haven't seen Mo with carbon wheels yet. I believe he may have them. We don't talk about it. But if he does, he probably just takes it to the races. He rides wheels that Paul and I have, just regular wheels. That's what he rides. And he's fast, okay? So, yeah. So the wheels are not going to make you faster. But you know what? If you want to reward yourself, don't justify it. Reward yourself and ride your wheels. But just don't think that because you get carbon wheels, it automatically makes you faster. But I think what you mean is, at what level, a skill level, there is none. Just whenever you want. I mean, if you can afford it, just get it whenever you can. Don't feel like you got to reach a certain level. No, not everybody's out there, even at the top levels, riding carbon wheels unless they got a team that supplies it. But now, if they're competing, say pro level, yes, they're all probably riding comparable stuff. They have access to that as a reason because they're within, seconds of each other or whatever. So they're already fast. And they want to make sure they maximize their engine or whatever. But I just don't want people to think that you got to go break the bank to get carbon wheels and it's going to make you faster. No, just get regular wheels. I ride $320 wheels. The wheels that you saw me riding in the ride with those guys cost $320 for the set. They're called Campagnolo Zondas. I bought them from Merlin Cycles in the UK several years, maybe 2 years now ago. And I just have Victoria Evos with latex wheels on, and they ride great. Now they're slightly aero. I mean, very little. They're just a little curve. But I don't even think about it. I like them because they're very alive. They accelerate so well. They're great for climbing. When I step on the pedals with those wheels, they just move. I told Paul about it because I was so excited. I used them on the blue bike, and they just woke that bike up. So a lot of climbers will not use very deep aero rims. That's why NV makes like a 2 something, I think. They have their systems, 2.5, 3.4, 4 something, whatever. So the teams that they sponsor, when they're climbing, they use the smallest wheel that is the smallest profile wheel that NV has because it's more responsive. And then some of the wheels are good all-around wheels. You get it for special, but there is no time. Life's too short. Don't wait. If you can afford it, you want to get it. Just know you still got to work. Because if you can't go fast enough to get above, say, 32 kilometers an hour, then you don't get the effect of the aerodynamic benefit anyway. So yeah. But reward yourself. Don't get too caught up in when you need to get it. And don't justify anything. You can afford it, buy it. You work for the money. Why not spend it on yourself? I believe in people paying themselves at all these bills. Let's see here. My local bike shop tries. This is Getting Ready 101. My local bike shop tries to save me money. Help me set up with a right-handed bike. I got one arm. They will help. Well, that's good. You got a good one. There are good ones out there. Stick with them and support them so they can stay open. Yeah. I like bike shops that are practical. The one I went to is not. No kid, no 7-year-old kid needs discs and full suspension on the front fork of a bicycle. $400 and something for one, $3 something for another. He said they were having a sale, $40 off. Give me a break. That's a sale? Please. So, you know, and the bikes would have been too big anyway. They got 2 little Huffies from Walmart and they're happy. They're thrilled. They got that little fancy, the little thing that hangs on the end. I bought them separately to match the bikes. You just stick the plugs in there. They're there. And they're really thrilled. And the bikes fit them better anyway, so they can put their feet down and learn how to ride. I just hold the seat and teach them how to balance. You know, the 9-year-old picked it up. 7-year-old needs some work. And I just plan on doing it frequently enough to where they'll get it. The 9-year-old already has it. I just got to teach her how to stop safely because she thinks that she's just supposed to jump off the bike and not stop. They have coaster brakes on them, so they lock them off. I said, no, you can go back softly and slow it down. I'm still teaching them that, so it's fun. All right, let's see here. Michael Fernandez, what was the Continental tire called that you mentioned earlier? Continental tire. I know we talked about the 4,000. The Grand Prix Classic. I think that's what you talked. That's the one on my Colnago we used today. Very comfortable. They only come in 25 millimeter. Continental Grand Prix Classic tire. I'm going to be getting more because I love the way they look on the Colnago. Old school, comfortable. 90, 95 PS is why I'm running. And they take bumps. You know, they're not delicate. I don't think they're high TPI tire, but they ride a lot better than Gator Skin. The Gator Skin is tough, but man, that bad boy, the ride is a bit rough. You know, it has a spot, I guess. So I like these the Grand Prix Classic, they call it. Only in 25 millimeter. It comes in one size. But they have a nice sidewall that looks almost like a tan, you know, sidewall, the color of leather almost. And it just works with the bike. Even when it's moving. Because Paul and I were riding and he could see the sidewall. And I thought, wow, that's cool. You know. So, yeah. Rodolfo Ramirez. I remember you. How you doing? Rodolfo Ramirez. Let's see here. All right, I'm going to speed this up a little bit here. All right. Shimano. Let's see here. We got an R3. Okay. Munez Gori said, I have a Shimano Dura Ace Di2 10-speed group set with an 1127 rear cassette. I'm trying to see if I can get a larger rear cassette. I've been told it isn't possible. Shimano? You can get it yourself. I don't know who's telling you it's not possible. Just look online. If they make the cassette 1127, I know Shimano. I have a Shimano 1228, but it's 11 speed. I don't think it's. Let me see here. Let me check for you. I don't know who told you it's not possible. Next time somebody tell you that, just go online and search for it yourself. You know, it just says Shimano 10-speed cassette. That's all I'm typing in Google right now. I want to see what pops up. Shimano 10-speed cassette, and you're running Dura Ace. Okay, let's see. Jensen USA has a 10-speed. So all you want to do is, and this is something you need to do, Shimano 10-speed cassette. Type that in Google, and it shows up under Jensen USA, Bike Nash Bar, Backcountry. Then you need to go and look to see what they carry. That's what tells you what's possible. They will tell you whether they have something bigger like a 28, but a 28 is just one tooth. It seems like you're looking for something like a 32. be very careful as you start to go up above 30. Then you may need a longer rear derailleur cage, what that holds the pulleys, a longer one, so you don't have a lot of problems there. I'm not sure why they tell you that's not possible. People have been riding that for a while. It sounds like you're riding mountains. Do you, another option would be making sure you have a compact in the front, like a 3450, I believe, is a compact, chain rings. That would make a difference with that 27. I have a Shimano 11-speed 1228. So I know it's possible. They didn't just make that for 11-speed. So just go ahead and do that search and click on those and see what the vendors are carrying. You can buy it yourself. You don't need anybody to tell you anything. And if you have the tools, you can replace it. I don't know how adept you are at doing that. I do all my own work. I work on other people's bikes too that are in the click. Let's put it that way. All right, let's see. I hope that helps you. You can find out from yourself. Don't just take what somebody tells you. Larry, so I have not met you years ago in looking for a bike. I have what I have now, 2011 Roubaix Specialized with 105. Willing to take your advice to make the best of this bike until I can afford one more. If the bike fits you and is working fine, I mean, I'm trying to make the most out of how you typed it in there. Why would you want to change it? Is there a problem you're trying to solve? That's a question you need to ask yourself. I'm not an advocate for just buying things. Where I grew up, we repaired things. We didn't throw them away. I know now in the U.S., everybody wants to replace. I've had people tell me I have a 1998 BMW 540i, which is impeccable in external experience, function, and everything. And the first thing I want to tell you is too old. And I think I made the comment on here, some situation where somebody said something was too old. I said, well, we need to kill you. Some guy came to my home, and this home was built in 1992. We bought it in 2012. And the reason we picked it is a custom home. It's built really well. So it has AC units that were spec'd in 1992. And it had a problem. I don't know what was going on. I think it was a capacitor or some crap like that. I always read up stuff before I call people. And the guy comes, and the capacitor is like $40 or whatever. He charges $179 for a $40 part. Well, you got to pay them for their service, all that crap. That's fine. But then he proceeds to tell me, well, these units are too old and they look like they might be going out or whatever. And so I told him, well, you're old, you're in your upper 30s. We ought to just kill you. He got it real quickly though, to his credit. Yeah, the thing's working. Why do I need to replace it? So yeah, keep your rebate. Nobody, the body does not care whether you're riding Dura Ace 105 Ultegra. Long as it's functioning. When you shift, it needs to get there. That's all that matters. They don't make you faster. You can ride Dura Ace 105 Ultegra. If you're not in shape, you will get dropped. Got a lot of guys with carbon wheels. You guys see your Team RR. They spend a lot of money on bikes. Got bad fit. You guys tell me all the time. People will put comments. That guy's rocking over there. You guys know. And he's got $3,200 carbon wheels, and the frame might have been $8 or $9 grand. Yeah, but he skipped a $200 fit. So now he goes home. He's got saddle sores. Everything hurts and it aches. What is that worth to you? So no, keep your bike. If it's working, keep it. I only changed my bikes because the fit was off. At first, I had a Calfee, and the shop in Austin just did a bad fit. It's one of the reasons I'm in fit right now. Just too many terrible things. When I used to race, I had a fit kit done. It was terrible. I immediately left the shop and started fiddling with stuff myself. I'm like, what did I pay for that for? It's those things, fit kit, red tool, all that's only as good as the person wielding the tool. So there's not a problem with fit kit, but the person needs to be knowledgeable enough to execute that stuff. And so, yeah. So, If that bike fits you well and you're happy when you're riding it, keep riding it. It's not going anywhere. Nothing's going to happen to it. And only change the components if the ones you have breaks and is not functioning, and then you want to consider getting something else or just replacing it with the same thing. Having 105 versus Durace does not make you a faster rider. It's just nicer to have. That's all. That's all. So don't fall for that. A gram here, gram there. Nobody cares. Leave a water bottle at home. That's a pound. Forget about grams. You can save weight there. So, yeah, keep your bike. Money doesn't go bad. All right, let's see here. Kurt, what size bike do I have to ride for your height? I can't tell you by your height, Kurt. It would have to be a workup on your inseam and your shoulder length to get your top tube right. Yeah, don't let anybody ask you how tall you are. That's a red herring in fit. Your height has no bearing on it. The bike does not care about this. What the bike cares about is the contact point where you're going to be reaching for your hoods. That's the length of the top tube. So don't fall for that. So my suggestion would be you can use our service for bike sizing or anybody else. A lot of fitters offer bike sizing. So before you buy a bike, we can size a bike for you. You can go to veloharmony.com under the cycling services. You will see the bike sizing. That's what we do. And there will be a form for you to fill out to send all your measurements, and then we'll calculate the bikes that fit you and send you a PDF document with everything you need before you go shopping. Let's see here. Getting ready. Let's see. Michael Fernandez from the land down under. Michael's asking, are carbon wheels recommended for a beginner like me? I didn't know you were a beginner. Doesn't matter. It's similar to the question that gentleman, was it Muniz? No. Somebody asked the same question. I think it was Muniz. Yeah, skill level about wheels. No, you can get it anytime you want. Just don't break the bank, and don't let it put you in a bind to where you can't ride if you have to work more to pay for it. You can get them anytime you want if you want carbon wheels. I don't recommend training on them. Train on your aluminum wheels and then use your carbon wheels for your rides that you care about. Grand fondos, group rides, yeah. But I used to do that. My issue is that I had to change the brake pads. It's not the end of the world, but you got to push them out. You know, you push them out because the carbon wheels have special brake pads. Do not use the same brake pads on aluminum wheels and carbon wheels. They're different. You will ruin your carbon wheels. It won't hurt the aluminum wheels. You try to use carbon brake pads on aluminum wheels, you probably wear out the pads quicker. But the manufacturers, the top ones, will send you their brake pads that you're supposed to use with their wheels if you're using regular brakes. If they're discs, then it's not an issue. So I hope that helps you. Get them whenever you want. There's no rule. But, you know, so as a beginner, though, right now, my suggestion would be get some nice aluminum wheels or whatever came with the bike. You know, the upgrade of a bike with wheels is a good move. It's a good upgrade. And you could do that if you're going to switch your wheels on the weekends. But right now, I think as a beginner, you want to just be able to ride more. Whatever allows you to have more time right now is more valuable than anything you buy. You need time in the saddle so you can educate yourself. Educate yourself meaning get to know you. You need to know you. It's about you. You need to know, how hard do I go here to not get in trouble? How many miles do I need, or how many hours do I need to be ready for my group ride or my grand fondo? That's the reason people, you know, get training, you know, coaching and so forth, so they can get to know themselves. You know, if you don't know yourself, then you don't have confidence when someone else does something, whether you can go with them or not. That's the challenge. So just as a beginner, you know, that should be paramount. I want time to ride, and I want to find people to ride with that are going to encourage me, and you know. So you know, it's great that you found the channel, but yeah. But I'm not talking you out of getting the wheels. I'm just saying, don't make that a priority.
So let's see here. Bill Michaels, Merry Christmas, VH. Great stuff as usual. Looking forward to 2019. Yeah, man. We're riding into 2019. We did 7+ hours today. I just put it on Strava. I didn't even look. I had to turn off the kudos. I get a lot of kudos. It's exciting, you know, but they show up on the phone, the iPad. So I have to figure out, okay, which one do I want the kudos to show up on? You know, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, we're riding into 2019. We're bringing it in with a bang. We're going to be riding New Year's Eve. It's going to be epic. Because New Year's Eve to us is a Monday, I believe. Yeah, because I think Tuesday is New Year's Day. Usually Christmas and New Year's happen to fall on the same. Usually. I don't think we know leap year. No, but probably not. Okay. So, yeah. So I told Paul the other day, he was here. I think we rode Christmas Day. We went, I discussed with my wife, and they were not going to open the gifts till we got back. So Paul and I left early, and we got back around close to 11. And I told him to tell his wife, I said, as far as I'm concerned, today is Tuesday. Because in the training week, we do it by days. And he knew what I meant. I said, tell Nina today's Tuesday. Today's not Christmas. It's Tuesday. That's how you know you're a cyclist. All right, let's see here. Jay said, thanks for the response. You're welcome. Just I hope I said that, you know, I speak from the heart, and I'm very practical. I say things that I would do. It may not always be right. Robert Tangler says, let me know if you and Paul need me to sack for you during bad weather rides. I'm fairly reasonable. Well, we didn't know it was going to be an epic storm. They forecasted rain, and the app kept, you know, like on the Apple phone, the app gives you cloudy, then 30%, then cloudy, you know, hour by hour. Well, they kept moving it around because I study it at night. I get up in the morning and I look, and it was just moving around. So we knew there was going to be a 30% chance, then 80% later in the evening. So we figured we're just going to put the mud guards on the bike, cover our shoes, so we don't have to deal with it out there. We took the rain vest. We're equipped. We're not cold, not wet. It was cool riding in. It was raining hard and blowing. And I had done this special silicone in my shoe and everything. So the bottom worked, but then the water was blowing so much, and we didn't have full tights on because it was warm, like 15C, 61, 62. So because I only had knee warmers on, the water hit my leg and went down the Peogia, even though they got that silicone, because that thing was driving rain, you know. And so speed slower and everything, you know. So we enjoyed it. It was beautiful. The roads were clean because it was raining so hard. All the film gets washed off the road. So it was really cool. Let's see here. Cycling T Holmes, what's up, everybody? I'm a week out from being back on the bike. We're great. That's great to know. He had an injury, so he's coming back from injury. All right. How long will tube patches last unused, stashed on my bike before they won't stick to the tube when I need them? Do they last a year? And unless you mess with the packaging they're in, I take them out. I use patches that don't need the glue. They call them glueless patch where you just stick them on there. And I take them out of those little boxes. They come in a small plastic box, and I put them in a thin, short plastic bag because it's flatter. Because when I do my essentials kit, I want it to be flat, not bulky like that when it's flat. So they'll last a long time. You don't mess with them. I just take them out and put them in that bag and leave them in there. I really have never had a need to use them. You know, I carry, when we do a ride like we did today, we carry 2 tubes. I have one in the essentials kit, and I stick one in my Rafa bib shorts. That's another thing about the bib shorts I like. They have those 2 radio pockets on there. I don't have to put stuff in my pockets. I keep them free for other stuff. So, yeah, this should last a long time. Once I use them, though, I come home and throw the tube away. They don't last, meaning they'll get you home, but the next day that patch is going to start leaking where you patch the tube, especially the glueless ones. They're not meant for permanent fix like back in the day. Even the new ones, I don't know what kind of galvanizing fluid they're using because they don't seem to work. So I just stopped patching tubes because I've patched them, and then a few rides, the patch itself bubbles up, and all that effort into doing it. So I just chuck them. I don't patch them anymore. I just buy the tubes bulk on sale. They always have them on sale for a few dollars. And that's when I don't go for lightweight tube. I just buy butyl tube for my training. I have my latex for my other rides, but butyl tubes, between $3 and $5, they'll put them on sale. All the manufacturers, and I'll get them and just keep extras. So yeah. Okay, so let's see. Just is 29. So a newbie cyclist gets their bike fit. Why do some bike fitters tell their clients to ease into it? Because they don't know what the hell they're doing. That's funny. That's not new here, G6. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. You should not have to ease into anything. You should be comfortable in the fit studio if the fitter knows what they're doing. The problem is there is no fitter certification. Think about it. When somebody says they're good in computers, the question could be, are you MCSC certified? Which lends a certain level of competency. There is no level of competency for fitters. Anybody can say they're a fitter. Just because they're working in a bike shop doesn't make them a fitter. You err on the fact of being cautious. When you go to a fit studio, generally, you're dealing with better fitters. Bike shop fits, be careful unless they're affiliated with somebody who is running a studio in the bike shop, and you need to know who they fitted. Check their references. You think about it. When people ask me about my references, I just send them to this channel or the Google reviews that people put on there. That's it. And in fact, people don't ask me anymore. They come to the channel to see what I'm talking about and doing here, and they realize, yeah, this guy knows what he's talking about. So that's what you're dealing with. You shouldn't have to ease into anything. I mean, come on, ease into it. When they fit you, you should be comfortable immediately because they should be asking you, how does that feel during the fit? And dial you in. And they should be able to look at you and tell. And we're going to talk about it here. We're on a ride, and I'll tell the guys in the narration that that person's knee is accelerating, meaning the saddle's a little high. Your fitter should be talking to you, and you should be giving them feedback about how you feel during the fit. That's how a fit session should go. So no, that's a red herring when they say you need to ease into it. And that's been thrown around a lot. You need to ride into the fit. You need to ride for a while. There is no such thing. It doesn't mean that if you leave the studio and you go for a ride and find something uncomfortable, that is a bad fit. What it means is the fitter should give you follow-up to where you go back and clean that up and tweak it. That's normal. But to tell you to ease into it, no. They should be concerned with anything you find uncomfortable. And their goal should be to make you comfortable. That's why we do remote fits here. A lot of people, like you were experiencing, a lot of people got tired when I started the channel of spending money on fit. Then they come to the channel and say it's still uncomfortable. So they asked me to set up the remote fit. That's why we do remote fit for people who are not in Houston. So, yeah, you shouldn't have to do it. Let me read your second. Is it because of body adaptation and neuromuscular training? No, I guess I answered that. No, your body should not adapt to anything. The saddle needs to be where you need to sit on it. There is no adaptation for your butt to sit in a spot. They need to put that saddle in the right spot so you can pedal and get in shape. You don't need to adapt to anything now. Oh, the only thing you're adapting to is the tissue getting tougher where it touches the saddle as you put in your miles. If you're new and you've been off for a while, the tissue needs to get a little tougher. The first few rides will be a little sore, but then the more you ride, it goes away. So no, that's a no to all of that. Let's see here. Michael Fernandez just got a Brighton bike computer after you mentioned that it would be better than using my iPhone. Yeah, those things are huge. I would never put my iPhone on my beautiful stem. The stem is a work of art. Why would you cover it up with a phone? Come on, put your phone in your pocket for emergencies. I turn my phone on Do Not Disturb when I start my ride. It's there for me to call someone if I have a problem. not for people to bother me. I turn that sucker on do not disturb and go ride my bike. It's great that you have phones, because back in the day when I used to race, phones were not the norm. You'd be out. You have no way of communicating if you had a problem. That's why I carry the phone. That's the only reason I carry the phone. In fact, we don't have a phone, a landline in the home. I think most people now smart enough. We were paying for that crap years ago. I'm like, we don't even use that stupid thing. Why are we paying? Then they have all kinds of taxes tied to it. You guys in the US, you know what I'm talking about. They have some stupid internet connectivity fee. I'm like, I call the phone. Oh, yeah, that's for people who are underprivileged. What the hell am I paying for the internet? They don't need internet if they can't pay for their food. You need to give them money for food versus giving them internet. I mean, I'm sure there's a reason. Why the hell am I paying for it? I didn't vote for that. You know, so I turned off that sucker internet connectivity fee. Can't, please. They love to tag things on the crap like that. So I started eliminating all the useless stuff we weren't using. Anyway, I get off that bandwagon. But yeah, you don't need your. I see people all the time like huge. The phone sitting over the stems, huge on some adapter. I'm like, please. It just looks wrong. You know, and you end up looking like you don't know what you're doing, especially to experienced cyclists. They may not say anything, but nothing says I don't know what I'm doing more than a big iPhone or Android on your bike. Because there is no, I mean, you know, it just doesn't look right. So it's wrong. I'm glad. Thank goodness. Get a nice little head unit that's aerodynamic and designed for that. Plus, these phones are very expensive. So what if they fall? Or if you have a crash, smash your phone? Come on. No. I put my phone in my security pocket. The Rafa security pocket is a zipper and it's vertical. And the phone fits straight up perfectly. I put my phone in a plastic bag and put it in, sometimes, a lot of times, I'll put it in a plastic bag and put it in the bib short. When I wear my Rafa bib short, they have a radio pocket. They have two of them. I'll put the phone in the radio pocket. I don't take the phone to mess with it on the road. It's there for emergency calls. That's it. I park that sucker and I forget about it and I ride. That's all it's there for. So yeah. And people in my life know not to call because I'm not going to answer it. It's going to silence it anyway. So yeah. Let's see here. Getting ready to say I had to ease into it. Had severe knee pain in only one leg. Turns out I had been walking with toes pointed out. Pedaling straight, I had to retrain my muscles. They should have adjusted your shoe, your cleat, to accommodate what you're comfortable with. That's what it should have done. I mean, it would have been a non-standard fit because they're dealing with something unique. There are people that have leg length imbalances and whatever. You shouldn't have to be in pain. That's what a fit is. A fit is to make you feel like the bike is one with you. The human body is not symmetrical. Your foot does not need to be straight if that's not natural for you. You know, my cleats on each shoe are in different positions. My left foot is slightly longer than my right, 1 or 2 millimeters. Not you know, but that's normal for most people. The human body is unique. So we get the bike to fit. The bike is symmetrical. We're not. You get the bike to fit you. So no, I mean, I'm glad that you're working it out, but I'm just saying you shouldn't be. I've seen a lot of riders. Your foot can point anyway. You need your natural gait, you know, because the knee tracks like that at the top of the stroke. So whatever's natural for you, the fitter should accommodate that. They need to get to know you. That's what a fit is about. Instead of making you conform to something else. What if that's not natural for you? I've seen a lot of riders, you know, that's why we got speed play pedals now, because they have more adjustability. So you can recommend to people who can't handle the limitations in the standard 3-bolt systems because you can only adjust so much. So no, I don't know. If it's working for you, great. If there's a question, just know that you shouldn't be uncomfortable in any contact point on the bicycle. All right, let's see here. I'm going to skip. Let's see. I'm not really sure. Just asking, can you possibly get a custom built bike at 5K AUD? You need to shop for it. You have to find a builder and see what they're charging for the services. Minas wants to know how often you should lube your chain. What are you riding indoors or out? Lube your chain when it's dry. There's no rules. Nobody can tell you because it has a lot to do with where you're riding. Outside is tougher because it's going to be different for everybody depending on the conditions, if it's dusty or whatever. So if you're riding indoors, your chain won't probably dry out as much if that's all you're doing. But you can hear it when it gets noisy, lube it. Muniz wants to know how important is recovery and when to take a recovery week. How important is recovery? Without recovery, you can't do anything. You have to rest. That's what recovery is. It's more important than training. Because if all you do is train and you never recover, your performance will dip. You will get slower. And you will be dropped. Because when you're tired, you can't ride at top levels. So yes, recovery is important. Those pros that you see riding 6 hours a day, they rest harder than you. These guys will ride. I read about Fausto Coppi and them back in the day. They would ride 6 hours one day and then spend the whole day the next day in the woods, you know, doing massage and meditating and all of that. Yeah, you have to rest the body. You have to listen to you. I said earlier on another thing. You have to get to know you. You need to find out how many days you need to be at your best. I recover overnight really well because I drink stuff like this. I have a powder in there that I mix when I done. It's high five nutrition. It's a carb protein mix. I put it in the Gatorade and I drink that. It speeds to my muscles and then I eat within 2 hours. That's why we had to extend the start time of this session because I needed to eat after the 7-hour ride. That's recovery. It doesn't mean sleeping. It means that you're feeding the muscles. And then it does not only start after you're done riding. During the ride, you have to carry food. That's why we carry food. It's not just for the ride. You carry it so you're not behind. We're burning, like on Strava, it will say, oh, you burn whatever kilojoules. Let me see here what it said I burned today. I don't even know how they come up with that. But according to Strava, let's see. I'm going to load up the ride over here and I'll just read it to you guys. So we did 7 hours and 9 minutes, 166.55 kilometers. We climbed 1,000 meters. 1,000 meters is 3,000 feet, thereabouts. We don't live in a mountainous area. That's a lot of climbing. So when people come on the channel, sometimes some people who are not in the know, and they say, oh, you call those hills? Come by and visit us. We'll take you out. You know, 1,000 meters. That's today. We climbed 1,000 meters. The ride with those guys, I think it was like 9 something. Let me see here. Let me look down. I'm trying to see. I'm trying to compare what we did on Saturday with these guys. Lake Superior, December, Road Maurizio. Okay, here we go. So we did 634 meters, and you guys saw the challenges my buddy was having. It was hard for me too. It wasn't easy. So we almost did double the climbing that we did with those guys on Saturday because that's the mindset. We did more. So next time we go to visit them, we're going to be ready. But we're not just going to do 1,000 meters and not rest enough. Doesn't mean not riding. So that means tomorrow's ride won't be 7 hours. It might be 3.5, 4 hours because we're doing the Rafa Festival. We want to knock it out. We want to get it done. And then on Saturday now, we'll be this kind of work we're doing by the time. That's why we did it today, Wednesday. Okay, Muniz. Wednesday. So we've got Thursday and Friday to rest. That gives us enough time. Some people need 48 hours. Some people need 24. Some people need 12. You got to find out what you need and make sure you recover. That's the reason why you need a structured plan if you want to mix with serious racers or riders. You can't just ride around and ride with the top guys. You at a disadvantage. Those guys have a system. Sunday's ride after that Saturday ride, Mo just dropped the power and just spun little gears, chatting. It was a conversational ride. It was fun. We're still moving, but not full gas. So you got to have structure to know I got to go and then come back down and still ride. You can't just stop riding, because what's happening now is we've been riding so much now where my heart rate used to be 160, it's like 140. So I've got to learn these new zones so that when I ride with people who are slower, I don't go too hard and break up the group. I've got to keep tabs on where I am. Same thing. If I happen to stop riding as much, I have to adjust and know that, okay, now my zones are a little different. So my functional threshold heart rate is now much higher. It might be 185. It used to be 181. I don't test it very often because it's not a lot of fun. You know, so you have to ride so hard to get there. So that's the point I was making. So we rode 1,000, we climbed 1,052 meters today versus 634 with those guys. We added 400 meters to the climbing. We're going to be ready. So it's on. So anyway, I hope that helped you. Yes, you need to recover, but you want to improve, you need a plan. Don't just ride around. Get a coach. Sign up for one of our training plans so you have structure. Then when you get on that trainer, you won't be bored. Let's see here. Planning to do the Great Ocean Road Bike Ride next year. It is about 234 kilometers over 5 days. That is in March next year. I've not done the Century as yet. Would it be recommended I participate? Yes, a year away. Yeah, you need to start getting ready. You need to start preparing. Since it's next year, you need to start preparing for this year. Well, I guess you mean 2019. I don't know how many months you have between now and when it starts. But you need to start preparing your body. Like Paul and I started a month ago riding 300 kilometers a week minimum to get ready for this Rafa Festive 500, which we had to do 500 kilometers in 7 days. We've been ready to be able to do that. So this week we're going to even do more than the challenge. So yes, you have to prepare for that. And you really need some structure since you're new at this. Because I don't know enough about you, or whether you've gotten a bike fit and your fitness level, your threshold, all of that to answer that. But yes, you can do it. You just have to give yourself a chance to prepare and make sure you can handle the distance. Don't just go there cold turkey. All right, let's see here. Let's see. These guys are chatting, so I'm scrolling through some of the conversations. So this is Benny Yam. What is your view on using mountain bike speed cleats on road bike? SPD cleats. That's fine. You use anything you want. We have a lot of people that do. Nothing wrong with them. Paulie Long, he's chatting with somebody. Okay. Riding with Sarah. Interesting name. She says, I use SPD pedals on my fixed gear bike. No difference in notice from the road clippers. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you already have that, why not? But if you don't, then why not use road on road? You know. Rodolfo Ramirez. I agree 100%. Okay, he's chatting with Robert. Okay. Okay, so Michael Fernandez said it's 3 months from today. So you need to get going, Michael. Because 3 months is not a long time, but it's enough time to get yourself in shape. It depends on what you're doing now. So you have to have a structure now that says, I need to do a minimum of these hours per week. You got to build up so you can get your body ready to handle that load. You know, so if you don't have a coach or a plan, go to the website, look at the cycling services. There are training plans there. We also have a life and fitness coaching thing that you can sign up for, because when you have structure, you will arrive there ready and you will have confidence to know that you will do well. You're not going to crawl through the event. You're going to spend your money to do something, you need to perform well. There's no point in going there and barely making it. You can do that at home. You don't have to pay to do that. So Nicholas Rises. Oh, that was super legend. Welcome. He says, what is a good an easy plan on a trainer, just riding 30 to 50 kilometer right now. A good and easy plan on a trainer. My plans are not easy. You got to work. You got to work. So yeah, you don't need an easy plan. Depends on what your goals are. So it's kind of hard to answer that, Nicholas. Depends on your goals. If you want to improve, you need a plan that will tax you and make you improve. Okay. So if you don't have a plan, we have training plans on the website under the cycling services. Purchase one of those. It's very detailed and it's challenging. But if you need somebody to build your plan, and sign up for the life and fitness coaching, that will get you there. I need to go back and read. There's a comment from one of our super legends here, Christopher Roxbury. Let me find it. He's chatting with Paul. I'm not sure what that is. Let's see. I'm trying to find the right, because Chris is always at. Chris said, I lived in South Korea for a year, loved it there. Did lots of cycling there. I don't know if this is the comment I was going to. Okay. Chris said he lived in South Korea for a while. Chris is well traveled. Oh, here we go. Robert Tangler, our super legend, says this is feeling more like this Veloharmony is feeling less like a YouTube channel and more like a community. Interesting. It is a community, Robert. I think most of the channels are, because the comments on the videos are meant to build a community. But I think I know what you mean, to where people get to talk, you guys get to chat with each other, people can ask me questions. I'm more accessible that way. You know, the people like you, Chris, what's his name, Eric, Nell, that do the super chats, that helps me be able to allocate time to do this. You know, I understand not everybody has to do that, but I think I want you to understand that I'm glad you think it feels like a community, but it's because of people like you and Chris Roxbury and Nicholas Rizos and all the super legends that make it possible. But without that, I wouldn't be able to divest my time from other things to be able to do this. That's the reason why the other guys are not doing it, because they have to take time away. Think about it. People have the ability now to come and ask questions, and I give them direct answers based on practical experience that they can use, as opposed to running to a bike shop and talking to some kid who just started riding. So it's important that people understand that, yeah, you can come and ask questions, but the super legends and people like Robert Tangler, Christopher Roxbury, when they put a question there, I ignore the other ones and I jump to them. And I've said that before, because I have to. These are the people that make it possible. Nothing in life is free. So if you come and you want to ask 5 questions, I might only answer 1 or none if the super legends are asking questions, because they are the ones supporting the channel and all the super chats. That's why we have super chats on here. So YouTube makes this possible, and I've chosen to use this because it is not an avenue that a lot of other channels use, and the main reason is because it takes a lot of time. They have to invest their time, and so they're not willing to do that. So yes, I like that it's unique, and I agree with Robert, but I want people to understand it's not easy doing this. This is an investment of time here. So people need to think twice. Some people will ask 5, 6 questions. If you're going to be asking that many questions, support the channel so you have some place to come and ask questions. That's the point I'm trying to make. So let's go back here. Let's see. See, we got about 15 minutes. We try to keep it at 2 hours. Anything longer than that, it's just hard for people to watch the replay. So let's see. All right. Let's keep moving here. Rodolfo Ramirez agrees 100% with Robert Tangler that Veloharmony is a community. We morphed from a simple YouTube channel into a greater cause, and I love it. Well, that's good to know. That's because of people like Robert. They make it possible. Robert supports the channel on Patreon. Robert also, I mean, he didn't have to, but Robert has done multiple super chats on here. Christopher Roxbury as well. And also he supports, Christopher Roxbury puts the channel on Patreon. These are the people making it happen. So it's not just happening because of accident. These guys are making it happen. And so the rest of you need to consider that too, because this is something that is helping everybody here, you know. So I want to thank all of you, like, you know, Robert, Christopher, the rest of you super legend. You know, I mentioned Rizos the last time because that's why I'm able to do this. If it weren't for these guys, we wouldn't have this. Now, it's not a knock on the other channels. They don't have it because they don't have a Christopher Roxbury. They don't have it because they don't have an Eric Nell, or they don't have a Robert Tangler. And that's the point I'm trying to make. So those guys can't do it unless they get people supporting them. That's what makes this community, you know. All right, let's see here. Where are we? I've already addressed this. That was Nicholas I talked to. Shouldn't be easy. Should have some challenge to it. Jeffrey agreed. Jeffrey Davis said to Nicholas, he said, it shouldn't be easy, because Nicholas was saying, what is a good and easy plan on a trainer? Yeah, you need a challenge to get better. It comes down to your goal. What do you want to accomplish? That's why the people who sign up, I have a long questionnaire they have to fill out. You got to give me some information. I got to get to know you so I can know how to push you. You know, that's the thing. Let's see here. As for Michael Fernandez, I think I mentioned that. Michael, sign up for our plan. I'll get you ready for that thing in 3 months. You got to be willing to work, though. Let's see. What is a good? And we've already done that. Shouldn't be easy. Yep. Okay. Now, who is going to win the 2019 tour? I'm picking Quintana. I'm not picking anybody. I have no idea. I doubted Quintana will win it. He hasn't shown that he's capable. Let's see. Nicholas will do that. Try to get some free advice. Nicholas, I don't mind, but I can't. The free advice won't be very useful because I don't know your parameters. You know what I mean? It's kind of it's like a system. Every system has rules. I don't know your resting heart rate. I don't know your functional threshold heart rate. If I were to give you advice, it would be a shot in the dark because everybody's unique. I always make the comment, Paul always laughs, my buddy. I said, everybody can go to class, but not everybody can make A's. And I can give you the same plan and give another rider the same plan. And based on your natural God-given talents, you're not going to have the same performance. So it just doesn't work like that. That's why I try to get to know people. I will use me for an example. When I used to race, we did these tests in a lab, and they found out I didn't know. I just knew that when I played soccer, I could run all day. Other people would be tired, and I would still be going. And so they found out that supposedly I have a big engine, meaning I have a diesel, meaning that I have to ride lots to get my engine ready to perform. That's just me. Other riders can't handle the load of miles like that. That's just the way I'm built. I have to ride a lot to do well. Some riders, if they did the same mileage I did, it would destroy them. Okay? I think Lance was doing a radio show. He does a radio show on YouTube. And there was some rider, I don't remember the name, but it doesn't matter. There was a young rider from the U.S. that was on one of the Europort teams. This is recent. And Lance found out that they had this guy doing like 6-hour rides with 10-minute intervals every hour. And Lance was saying they're gonna destroy him. He said he doesn't have that kind of engine. That's the kind of engine Lance has, where he can do heavy loads like that. Not every rider's built like that. So Lance was upset because he said these guys are playing with this guy's future because they have not taken the time to know him. Just because they give him a contract in the winter now, they're overloading him. And what ends up happening to a rider like that, when he goes back to Europe after doing that kind of work in the winter, a lot of times they don't perform well at the races because they're tired. That was Lance's point. And that's what I'm trying to say. Don't take advice from people who don't know you as an athlete. That's not good. Good coaches don't do that. Because first of all, I don't want you to pass out or whatever. So we got to get to know you. I give everybody the threshold test when they sign up for coaching, because we need to know where you are and then use your numbers to build your plan for your engine. You might have a V8. I don't know. I can't give you a plan for a V6 or, a 2-cycle engine. That's what I mean. So it's not good. You don't want free advice. You want something tailor-made for you. So everybody I train have their own plan for them. And then also they tell me what goals they want to achieve. And then we do periodic testing. You have to. Everybody's different. Paul and I ride. We rode 7 hours today. He may have pulled maybe 45 minutes or an hour because the terrain was hard. So the thing is I have a diesel. I can handle that. So what we worked on today was get your nose used to sniffing out the draft. So every time I would see him somewhere, I said, I think the wind's coming from over there. And he would agree. That's it. But then why are you there? Then he would switch. So those are the things we're working on. And the thing is that it doesn't matter to me whether he's pulling or not. All that matters to me is that he's working on what he needs to work on, which means that he needs to work on having a nose for staying sheltered and only working when it's necessary. So we hammered all those hills today. Yeah, we owned them. We were crushing them. So yeah, that's okay. That's fine. Anyway, I got off on my soapbox there. Let's see here. Michael Fernandez, would you recommend SMP? Yes, sir. That's all I use. SMP Dynamic, not just a SMP saddle, because they have many. They have the Glider, the Forma, whatever. The SMP Dynamic fits most people. If you have a shop that has loaners and you want to try the other models, be my guest. I did not have that luxury. So I followed the write-up. There's an extensive write-up by Steve Hogg, your countryman, the bike fitter. He's somebody I have a lot of respect for. I bought his ebook years ago and just read because he has similar theories and beliefs that I have. He does not believe in these tools like FitKit, Rate Tool, all that, spending thousands of dollars to have some electrode all over people to say, to give you credibility. He can look at you and tell you something's off. That's a fitter. So he wrote an extensive scientific write-up on SMPs, and it was just like no-brainer. So I tried the Dynamic and didn't look back. I have them on each bike. So yes, I would recommend the Dynamic, but if you're somewhere where they got loaners, go try the different ones. SMP has put a lot of research into the saddles. Now there are other ones that would work. I'm just saying you got to get a loaner and try them. They're all different. All saddles are unique. Randy Hongo, do you ever ride in locations where you have to drive there? And if so, how do you prefer to transport your bike? I transport my bike in the back of my car. I fold the seats down. I put it inside. But it doesn't really matter. Some people put them on the roof. I don't like that because people forget. And they drive to like a gas station or something with a low overhang. And they've destroyed their bikes. But that's the person. Some people will hang something on the mirror if the bike is up there to remind them. I don't know how you forget your bikes up there. I'm pretty close to my bike, so I don't forget them. But anyway, Paul, I'll go with Paul, and he has a rack on the back of his truck, and we mount the bikes this way to where they're just behind the tailgate. It doesn't really matter. They've got newer things now that you don't have to use a rack that will scratch your car. It's got like a plastic foot that you can stick suction, and it comes down, and you can just take the wheel off and mount the fork on the bike and put the wheel there. They have different systems. Just find what you can afford and what works for you. They're all pretty good. I like carrying the bike inside wherever possible. I mean, some people have pickup trucks where they put mounts on the inside of the bed and they just put their bikes in. I think that's pretty neat too. It doesn't really matter. We don't drive too many places except for grand fondles and stuff. We ride to rides because I want to warm up. I want my engine ready to go when I get there. And so we ride wherever possible. But yeah, there are some events we drive to, and then when we do, we get there early so we can take the time to get ready. You know, so yeah, doesn't matter. Just find what works. They're all pretty good. You know, I'm looking at that clock. We got about 5 minutes. Any advice for cycling while under the weather? Yeah, I remember you, Illich. You tried to ask that question at the movie. We were watching a movie, Jack. Okay, I made a video about that on the channel, so let me see if I can find it real quickly. That will probably be the most expedient thing for you. It's very thorough. If you're sick to where, say you got a head cold or something, then yeah, you can ride, but you might want to pay attention to how you feel. Anything below the neck, let's say don't ride, you know. So let me see if I can find, I don't remember where I put it, so it's wild. But if you're not feeling well and you feel like you have no energy, don't ride because your body needs that energy to heal you. Okay? It depends. If you just got a stuffy nose, it might be good to ride because if it's cold, it clears out your sinuses, you know. But you got to listen to how you feel. If it's just you're a little achy, then maybe just ride easy that day. That's not the day to hook up with a fast group or something. But there's no point working out when you're not well. That's not good. You're not getting a benefit. You're not missing anything when you rest your body. You're better off waiting till you're better. I'm trying to see here, cycling while sick. I know I did something on it. Just trying to search. If I can find the video, it will help you a lot. Okay. Oh, wow. You lead a charmed life. That is the title. Cycling when sick. I'm going to put it down here for you. I made this a long time ago. Let's see. January 12th. January 12th, 2018. Oh, I thought it was older than that. Okay. You're going to like this because the guy actually looks sick on the thumbnail. I don't know where I found that picture. I think I was being funny. Okay, let me see here. Command C. I want to make sure I got the entire link. Let's put that down here for you, Illich. I hope you see that. Frisman. All right. Look at this guy. Appreciate that. Super chat from my man Frisman. Appreciate that. Yeah, there's the link to that video. That video you will like. It was popular. That was when the channel, you know, we started branching out, and I think you'll like it. Will answer your question. Just be careful. That's why I talk about listening to yourself. Even if you feel okay and you go ride and you're just feeling bad when they're going hard, let them go. Ride by feel. Forget about power meters, heart rate monitors. If you don't feel right, don't ride hard. If you got to turn around, go home, go home. Only do it when you're feeling good. If you see me riding and I'm pulling, I feel good. If I'm sitting in, I'm saving my energy for whatever reason. I only pull when I feel good. That's it. And that's the way you should be. Don't ride with that. Don't do that. Let's see here. Any advice for cycling? Okay, I got that. Now, Munez Gora is asking. I'm going to skip you, Munez. I'm going to get somebody who hasn't asked a question here. Eric Jack. Anyone experience perineum numbness on trainer but fine on the road? You shouldn't experience. It shouldn't be different on the trainer or the road unless your trainer is not level. So make sure that your trainer is set up correctly. If you're comfortable on the road, you should be comfortable on the trainer, especially if it's the same bike. All right. Let's see here. Somebody's asking about my cycling goals for 2019. I really haven't given it much thought. I just ride. I live to ride. You know, or ride to live, I guess. Yeah, ride to live. There you go. The reason I ride is to stay healthy. If I don't ride, I have the propensity to develop high blood pressure. I want to ride so I can play with my daughters, hang out with my wife, and just I'm able to pick up my girls. You know, I have a lot of energy. So yeah, so that's my goal. I ride to live. Yeah. Let's see here. All right. When it sounds like I'm going to skip some of the conversation. Oh, Nico. Oh, Nicola say, Mr. E, can you call me Nico? Of course I can call you Nico. I don't really like to shorten people's name, but if that's what you want, that's fine, Nico. No problem. No problem. They don't have Paul or Mo either. Oh, that's somebody's conversation. Frisman is a super chat, so I'm going to answer him, of course. That would be rude not to. How much steerer tube do you advise leaving on? I need to cut mine, but wondering if I should have leave more than I need in case I lose flexibility with age. Let me find you a video. Because you want to leave about maybe a centimeter on top as a minimum, okay? I want to find you a video about how you do it. Since you're going to cut it yourself, I don't know if you've seen it or not. I did a video on how to do that, and it's very successful and popular on the channel. It might give you some ideas because I show you how much I left for the client. It was Alan's bike. I had him ride for a while at that setting, make sure he was happy before I cut it. Because once you cut it, that's it. You'll need a new fork to be able to go back up. So I know what you're getting at. Losing flexibility with age. I think if you're fit, who did your fit? If you had the right fit, that you put it where your body wants it to be. And you're not going to really change that much. I think unless you're starting with something that doesn't fit you that well. So yeah, if you have a fit done and you're sure, then you can do that. I think I called it, yeah, there we go, slamming your stem. It's a popular video, so it's easy to find here. I'm going to find it for you and just put it down there. We appreciate your super chat. Here we go. Actually, I'm going to put 3 links here for you because they all pertain to... I'm going to put the first one that shows you how to slam your stem. Then I'm going to put another one that tells you about whether you should slam your stem. And you may want to check those out. Here's the first one about how to slam your stem. It's a very popular video on the channel. The next one I'm going to put there is, yeah, there we go. I have this thing called TubeBuddy that really enhances how you use YouTube on Chrome. I don't have to keep jumping around. It shows me a different window. I can find videos a lot easier. It's kind of hard to explain. Kind of have to show it. This video here, the second link I'm putting here is for preventing pain and whether you should slam your stem since you're contemplating it. So you need to watch. So how to do it, should you do it, and then let's see. And there's another one on should you slam your stem I think you should watch. I did that separately for a reason. These 3 videos should help get you there. Be very cautious because even though it looks cool, you only want to slam your stem if you qualify. Check those 3 videos out. Okay. All right, guys, we're going to wrap up. Michael Fernandez signed up. Thank you. I appreciate that, Michael. The Land Down Under. Let's see. Kenneth Daniels, I would like to thank you for cycling. I have learned more in the time I watched your channel than I've learned in more than 10 years of cycling. Kenneth, that's what we're talking about. My super legend, Robert Taylor, said this is more like a community versus a YouTube channel. I kind of want to keep it like that because what has happened is I don't have to stress over is this video topic going to be something they want to hear when we do this? So I'm glad this channel helped you. And what I said was, you heard the other guy that said he just signed up. We were able to do this because of the supporters, the people that do super chats, that go to Patreon or whatever. So since this channel has helped you, keep that in mind. If you're able to support the channel to allow us to keep doing these things, that allows me to invest the time to do this. That's why the other channels don't do it. It takes a lot of time to do this. You know, that's great, Kenneth. Thanks a lot. Let's see. Yeah, and you know, since you're close to having a fit dialed in, consider doing our remote fit. If you're having problems, since you're close and you're handy, you're the kind of guy I like to do remote fit with. We have premium videos that you will have access to and also work with us to get you dialed in. Check out the fit on the cycling services on the website. Illich, you're welcome. I think Illich thanking me for those links. Yeah, the links will help you. Use those. Razan Popa, you're a legend. Thank you for your hard work. Razan, no problem. Another great chat. That's what the kind word. Keep up the hard work. You guys are awesome. Hey, Chris, so are you. We couldn't do it without people like you and all the other super legends and the newer super legend, newest one, Michael Fernandez. So you guys, I really want to thank you. I like this feedback. We're going to wrap up here. I like that this is working. Let's keep it working. Help the channel in whatever way you can. Don't feel like you have to break the bank, because together we can make it happen and keep it going. I want to build a community that will help. I didn't have this as a young cyclist, and I suffered the hard way trying to learn. So I reverse engineer a lot of stuff. They don't have this in books. A lot of the stuff that I'm telling you here, I live it even now. And that's why it's easy for me to give you advice, because we do it. We live it every day. And so I want you guys to know that I really appreciate all of you. We're going to end the stream today. We'll be back on Friday. I will schedule it. Keep your eye out on the channel. It will let you know. It will be on the channel page when it's scheduled. But we're going to be doing it because the Festive 500 is happening. We're riding every day. I'm riding for all of you. We're going to keep the K's in. Be good. Enjoy your evening and morning in the land down under.